Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second.
Good evening. Welcome to the April 4th Clark County Fire District 6 Board of Fire Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call this evening's meeting to order and ask that you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I'd ask for any additions to this evening's agenda.
None here.
All right, none here.
None here.
Our first order will be to read and approve the minutes of our March 21st, 2023 regular meeting. Post those as necessary.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Correspondence this evening, I didn't see any placed in the packet. Okay. Citizen communication. Citizens wishing to communicate with the board this evening can do so using the YouTube platform. That chat box will be monitored throughout this evening, and those questions will be answered by the board. Moving on to committee reports, health and safety report.
No report.
Okay. Risk management group. Looks like next meeting is April 12th. And fairgrounds fire facility.
No report.
No new report. Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Chief's report, if you want to take those two items.
Sure. So personal action report, Dave Schmickey had his 7-year anniversary, Pat Claflin 6-year anniversary, and then we have 2 employees on FMLA and 1 on duty on the job injury. And then there's no facilities report to make. We'll cover that in the county meeting.
Okay. Moving on to old business. Today's meeting with Kathleen Otto, Clark County Manager.
So today, Commissioner Pfeiffer, myself, Chief Newberry, representatives from McKinsey, and multiple representatives from the Building and Permitting Office in the county, as well as Kathleen Otto, met over a Zoom call, discussed permitting processes. Sounds like both sides had miscommunications throughout the process. We were the first building permit to go through the all-digital system, so they had just transferred to an all-digital system, and we were lucky #1, so there were some issues with that as well. But the good news is we got them down to giving us our final punch list that we need, and we should have the permits for the 63 project this week, and both permits by the end of April for 61 and 63.
Yep.
And then also we discussed with them moving public safety projects to the top of the list when they come in the queue for review. They already do that with schools and hospitals, and they said they were open to doing that with public safety infrastructure as well. So
Good.
hopefully in the future we will benefit from that. But overall productive meeting, it's a good learning process, and we're on the right track.
So by the end of April, so we could start in July.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Good meeting.
Yeah, it was a good meeting. Mm-hmm. Thank you. New business.
Before you is policy 1053, uniform regulations. This was brought to us from a captain in the department requesting a minor change to the uniform regulations, which would allow personnel to wear ponytails. Right now we require your hair to be up above the collar. So this was a request that came up through the chain of command. Staff didn't see an issue with it. We presented it to the local. They have no issue with it. So there's a 1-line change in there that allows hair to be tied back but worn in a ponytail, braid, or bun.
All right, this is the first reading of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'd just like to thank that captain for bringing that forward, because it sounds like he advocated for his crew.
That's great.
Yeah.
hiring process?
So at your next board meeting, we'll do a workshop on staffing of Station 151. However, if we want to hit that July 1st timeline to meet it with Clark Cowlitz Fire and Rescue, we have to push things forward pretty quickly because we don't have enough staff to do that right now for one shift. Currently, the district is holding 4 vacancies, positions that have been vacated. So we would like to fill those 4 vacancies with lateral hires. The budget can support that because the vacancies that left were more senior employees. In order to staff 151 fully for 1 shift out of 3, we would need to add 1 additional position so that we would have full staffing for that. So if the board chose, we could fill those 4 vacated positions, but you would have to make a motion to add an additional position, and that could be at this or after the workshop.
Okay. Yeah, well, if that outlines the staffing plan that's necessary, we can still move forward with the workshop next meeting, correct? To outline
Correct.
what that all looks like. But
Yeah.
if you've identified that by adding 1 additional, that would make us complete there, I would entertain a motion to pursue the hiring of 5.
Okay,
I would second that.
thank you.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So we have a pretty tight timeline on that. We're looking at academy starting August 1st and going online September 1. So it'll be
Is,
a quick testing process.
Has the folks from Clark Cowlitz, have they said specifically that July 1st is the date that they're looking? I know we've kind of kept that date at our forefront. Is that the date that they're looking at, or would
They say first week in July.
Okay.
But even if we push it as fast as we possibly can, we can't get people on until September. So what we'll present at the workshop is if the board desires to staff that with overtime, and we'll give you a breakdown of that cost versus waiting until we get those people online and then beginning staffing then. So we'll give you breakdowns of both costs, but
Okay.
they should have it staffed by September.
Okay. Perfect.
Moving right along, gosh, that's,
Be here before we know it.
yeah, so we'd have basically up to 2 months or potentially 20 shifts of filling overtime, whatever.
Correct.
But, so we would overstaff 1 shift. We can do all this in the workshop, but we'd overstaff 1 shift, the other 2 shifts would pretty much stay the way they are, then we'd fill off a certain shift.
Yeah. Yeah, the big hurdle is we're working with the local right now because if you overstaff that 1 shift, there's potential that there's not enough vacation slots. So we have to work through that, and they're sending us a proposal this week, so,
Oh. Okay.
but more to come.
More to come. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing on that. Executive session, I didn't see a need for that this evening. Roundtable, good of the order?
I just mentioned that Mark Kramer, one of our captains, did pass away this last week, unfortunately. He was really a good guy, good firefighter. Retired on the Clam River so he could fish right where he wanted to be. And obviously we send our condolences to the family, and I know that both the administration and the union reached out. If there's anything we could do to help, we'd be more than glad to do whatever we needed to do. And we have not heard any final decision on what sort of service there may be or whatever. I don't think.
So, retired firefighter Rick Dahlstrom's the family liaison, so he came in today. He was gonna meet with the family and see what they wanted. It sounds like they may want something smaller and more personal, but I said whatever they need, we'll help them out with it, so
Thank you.
more to come on that too. I did have one good of the order item.
Uh-huh.
So on your calendar, we have a meeting scheduled for July 4th, and so I didn't know if the board wanted to look at changing that date.
Okay.
I think we probably would.
We probably would, yeah. Let's see here. Let me get my handy dandy calendar out here. July 4th. What would be a good
The 5th?
date around that?
Hey, Chris, how about July 10th?
July 10th?
That's an A shift.
Is that, yeah, it looks like the 5th and the 6th are all days we work. How does that fit with what our timelines for accomplishing things?
It would be okay,
The 10th?
yeah, cause, it gives us,
I will be out of town,
Okay,
somewhere in Idaho.
okay,
Might have some phone reception, may not. I'm not
okay.
sure.
Let's,
Are you working, are you on duty the 5th?
I'll work the 5th and he'll work the 6th and,
what about the 3rd? Somebody work that?
I'm not gonna be in town on the 3rd.
Okay,
I'm on shift, but I could zoom in.
what works the easiest for what we need to?
well, we won't have 2 board
Okay.
members here
Oh.
the 3rd, so.
Oh, perfect, well then the 10th it is, all right. Let's, we'll need a motion for that, July 10th date. Make a motion.
What day are we doing, July 10th?
Yeah, does July 10th work for you?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll make a motion for July 10th.
Second? It's been moved and seconded to move July 4th's board meeting to July 10th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll try to make it.
Okay. All right, July 10th. Okay, any other roundtable good of the order? Okay. With that, we'll need to authorize payment of current bills, pre-authorization transmittal, authorize monthly commissioner compensation.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any questions this evening? Meeting is adjourned.
Geez, if I would've been late, you would've set a record. It's a good thing. Good thing.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Rocky. See you, Rocky.